Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. There is a message that I received and this is a translation of that message. The message reads like this. Hello brother Nash, how are you? So I am here on your platform, and the reason why I am here on your platform, it is because I want to confess all of the sins that I did. So what I want to confess to you about is that I destroyed this other woman's marriage. So this woman, my brother, I destroyed her marriage because I had dated her. Me and her, we had dated whilst we were still in high school. So after we had dated for a very short time, then she and her parents, they moved out of the area where we were staying at that time. Then I heard that she went to boarding school. When she went to boarding school, I never got the opportunity to ever communicate with her. So after that, my brother, I then left my own country and I went into a foreign country. When I had arrived in that foreign country, I then fell in love with a local woman. But my brother, our marriage was not okay, even though I tried as much as I could to give her all of my love and my attention, but our characters were just not the same. This woman that I was dating, my brother, she was a woman who loved alcohol so much. Even the time after she had given birth, she started drinking alcohol again when our baby was only 3 months old. So what this woman would do is that whenever she would feel that she wants to go and drink alcohol, she would just dump that 3 months baby, then she would go and drink alcohol. So I'll be left with no choice but to take care of our little baby. But this woman, my brother, I loved her so much, even though she was taking advantage of me. Then at that time, in the same community in which I was staying with my wife at that time, I used to attend this other church. So in that church, my brother, I was a prophet. The reason why I have came to your platform, it is because I want other people out there to be aware. If you are ever going to visit some of these prophets, you need to be very, very careful, or at least you need to go there with someone who knows the ins and out of how people manage to prophesy. Because today I want to teach you about this other prayer. This prayer that I want to teach you about, it is called Die Pharaoh in our language, or most of the people, they know it is a dangerous prayer. But what people do not know about this prayer that is called Die Pharaoh, but I want people to know that this prayer, it is a very dangerous prayer. And if you do not know what you are doing, please never try to do this dangerous prayer. And I am hoping that my confession, it is going to assist other people, because what I have noticed is that a lot of people out there, they are playing with fire whenever they are doing all of this dangerous prayer. So my brother, after I had seen that the woman that I was dating, she was abusing me emotionally, and the reason why she was abusing me, it was because she was a local and I was just a foreign guy. And me and her, we had gone to the court and we had our wedding, and she knew that I was never going to divorce her. Even she would abuse me, I would never dare to divorce her, because once I would try to divorce her, then all of my papers will be revoked. So she used to take advantage of me. I was stressed so much, even though I was a man who loved to have a private life. But my wife was that kind of a woman who always wanted to take alcohol. Then one night, as usual, she went out to drink her alcohol. When she came back, she was really drunk. Then she started fighting with me. As she was fighting with me, what she would do is that she would take all of my clothes, then she would throw all of my clothes outside. She did all of these things whilst everyone was just watching the abuse. So then people went to that man and spoke with that man who was the leader of the church where I used to go. Then they told him that, "Man of God, we see that your prophet there is being abused by his own wife. Why don't you go there so that you can try to speak with his wife?" Then that man came and started speaking with us, trying to make our marriage to work. But he then saw that we were two different characters, and it was going to be very difficult to make this marriage to work because this was nothing but a toxic relationship. He then advised me that it was far much better for me to move out. Me and my ex-wife, we then sat down, and then she told me that if I would continue taking care of her and our baby, then she would never go to court so that she can divorce me. That is the agreement that is there between me and my ex-wife. Even now, we are not divorced, but we are just on separation. I stay in another location, then she stay in another location, but I assist her as much as I can. After I had moved out of that woman's house, then I stayed with that man who was the leader of the church that I used to attend. As I was staying with him, then he said, "My son, don't you know that if you are a prophet, you are like the representation of God here on earth? You are the man of God. So all of the things that you do, you have to make sure that people should always respect you. But this wife of yours, she will make people not to respect you because of the way that she always abuses you in public. Today, I want to teach you a prayer, and this prayer that I am going to teach you, it will bring everyone that you want underneath your feet." That is how I was taught on how to make that prayer that is called the dangerous prayer. My brother, when I was now staying all alone, what I used to do is that I will be going on Facebook, joining a lot of groups where a lot of single women will be searching for partners. As I was on Facebook one day, I then came across my ex-girlfriend, the one that I had dated whilst I was still in high school. Then we started speaking. As we were speaking, my brother, she then sent me a WhatsApp number, and she told me that she was also in the same country that I was staying, and she was staying with her husband at that time. My brother, please give out this warning to your listeners. They should know that once you post your pictures on a public platform, you do not know who is your enemy and who loves you. Because what this woman, this ex-girlfriend of mine, used to do is that after she had saved my number, she used to post a lot of her pictures on her WhatsApp statuses, and as I will be viewing her WhatsApp statuses, I started downloading those pictures. After I had downloaded those pictures, I started to perform a lot of dangerous prayer. But the first one that I targeted when I was doing all of this dangerous prayer, it was towards her husband. I used to call upon the name of the angels, you know, those fallen angels that fell down from heaven at the time when there was a war in heaven. Those are the angels of war. So as I'll be saying these prayers, I'll be targeting her husband, whilst I'll be calling upon the names of the angels. And I was not calling upon any angels. They are those fallen angels, the fallen ones, those angels that were made for battle. I used to call on those angels of war. So whenever I'll be calling upon those angels of war, the fallen ones, I was calling on them so that they can fight against my ex's husband. So I started placing a lot of curses upon my ex's husband. Since I had the pictures and everything, it was very easy. And I made sure that all of the curses that I was placing in his life, he would never have financial freedom. Then my brother, I then started placing a lot of curses. Now these curses, they were directed against their marriage. I made sure that my ex-girlfriend, whenever she will be looking at her husband, if they will be in their bedroom, she will feel nothing for her husband. All of these things, my brother, I did it because I was so lustful. I started lusting after all of those pictures that she used to post on her WhatsApp statuses. In all of this, my brother, this woman, she was not innocent at all, because the more that we started communicating, sometimes she would call me and she would tell me that her husband is not at home, her husband is at work. Then she will say, "Right now I am bathing. Do you want to come and bath with me?" The more that she started flirting with me on WhatsApp, the more that I lusted after her body. Then, my brother, what I'll do is that, like today, my brother, I'll cast a dangerous prayer upon their marriage, then they will have a lot of problems in their marriage. Then as that woman will be speaking with me on WhatsApp, and I will tell her that I am going to pray for you. After I had prayed for her, then those problems would disappear. When she saw that her problems were disappearing, she then thought that indeed I was a true man of God. But what she didn't know is that I was the same one who would have brought those same problems into her marriage at the first place. So she started believing that indeed I was a true prophet of God, until one day she then said, "Please, can I come over to your house with my husband so that you can make some prayers for us, because we are really struggling a lot?" My brother, she then said, "Please, when I come to your house, never mention or try to show my husband that when we were still in high school, me and you, we once dated, we were once an item." And I said, "No, it is fine. You can come. I will never show your husband that I once loved you." My brother, when that woman and her husband came over to my house, the moment that I looked at her, I then saw that this woman, she was really beautiful. And I wanted her to myself, and I wanted her to get divorced from her husband. Then, as they were kneeling in front of me, whilst I was doing some prayers for them, I immediately saw that these two people that were kneeling before me, they had never knelt before a prophet. Then I decided to take advantage. I started to say those dangerous prayers upon their life. After they had done this, my brother, I then sent that woman who was my ex-girlfriend to go out there and buy 2 chili peppers. When she was gone, I started having a conversation with her husband. When she came back, I then gave them the instructions on what they were supposed to do whilst they were kneeling in front of me.